Okay, welcome back. We are going to learn today how to style the top six web page. So we're going to take the web page. You should have something that looks like this at this point, where you have six cards. You have images in all six of them. You have descriptions in all six, and then you have these buttons here that link. As I open them up, they should open up into different tabs right here. So you should have the target equals blank on each of your anchor tags and your HTML. So far we've just been working with HTML. Now we're going to do, and actually most of this project is going to deal with HTML. You're going to find you don't have that much to do in CSS, unlike your fan page project. Because we use Bootstrap, which require you to get like lots of the grid system and the cards. So a lot of your work is already done by just adding things into HTML. It's very HTML heavy. But we're going to switch over to styling this. And our goal is going to be to style a web page that looks like this into something that looks more like this. So this one is already finished, and this one needs to be finished. So let's cover some things that we need to do. First of all, there's one thing that I forgot to do when we built out the grid system, and that is to use a div called a container. So it's a division of the page called a container. And we use it when we're using Bootstrap. A container is, so it just looks like this. It says div class equals container. And you use this so that the content centers itself on the page. So right now I have these six cards that you see, and they're all against the left margin, but I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is make sure you use the little format index code right here. Above the div ID of main, you're going to go div class equals, and you're going to say container. Okay, and then close the opening tag. And then at the very bottom, okay, out of all my other divs, I'm going to add a closing div tag right here. I'll format it, and let me show you what this does. So this centers the cards on the page right here. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to do. The second thing you need to do in your CSS, you're going to go to CSS, and you should just have this default HTML comma body. There's a height of 100%, a width of 100%, nothing too big. Okay. So here, I'm going to show you how to add some of the stuff here. This is in the one that's already finished. So the first thing you want to add is you want to style, if you recall, going back to your HTML, a lot of your stuff was in a div called main. We give it an ID of main. So right now, I'm going to style out that main ID. So I'm going to go hashtag main, open parentheses. Now I want to give it a background color, okay? And so I've gone in, we've done this before, I've gone into this website. I love this website, Colors. I start the generator, and you want to generate like a nice color palette. So use your space key and get some colors here. Okay, once you get, I usually like a dark blue. This is a nice one. Let me see if I can get, okay, I love this blue palette. So let me use this Prussian blue, and you would copy here. So it's copied onto the page, or it's copied into the clipboard, and then you do hashtag and then paste it, okay? And when you do that and I refresh the page, it's going to put the background color onto all of the page here. Now, what is happening where it doesn't go stretch across all the page? Oh, I put the background color into the HTML body. That's what I did. So let me go ahead and add that background color here. So right now you can see if I put the background color just into the container, the reason why there's white on the margins on the left and right is because the container box is sitting inside the body box. And so on the left-hand side, that's the HTML body. And inside of it, you have a division of that, which is called container. So let me go ahead and add the background color to the HTML body and then see what happens here. So it should take on all of the body. I'm not sure why it's not. Let me pause and figure it out. Okay, so we are trying to figure out the problem of the margins being white here still. And I paused the video for a minute, and what I realized is that there's some default style that comes with Bootstrap that is difficult to sometimes understand. Like, so right now my web page is not responding the way that it should. I'm asking for the background color to be this like teal color, and it's not responding. So one thing that you can do is add this exclamation point, and then you say important. And when you add this little bit of code before the semicolon and you refresh the page, it overrides any of the default style with um, that comes with Bootstrap. So remember, Bootstrap is that CSS framework that we're using, and sometimes with it, there's like style things that come with it, like the way the font is styled, the way the background is styled, and so to override that or to make your style show up as opposed to the default style, you can use that exclamation point important. Okay, and I Googled how to get rid of that. That's something that I just figured out. Okay, so that puts all of the background into with a different color here. Some other things I wanted to add was I wanted to make all the text be aligned into the center. So I want to go text align center right here, and that makes it so all the text are in the center of my cards. Now, if I wanted to start styling the cards out, let's look at your HTML here. If I wanted to get the cards so that they have a background color. So what I can do is use the class of cards. And we haven't seen this before. So the way that you do that is you go under the hashtag main, you say dot, use a period. You say period card. That means the class of card. And let's say that I wanted to add a background color here. I'll go back to my color palette. Maybe I want to add something like a lighter shade of this right here. Copy it and put it in like that. Let's see if it works. So it's not working. So if I add the important structure. Okay, so adding that code right there, when I refresh the page, it should get me what I need right here. Okay, and then I can add color, which changes the text right here. So let's say that I just make it, some color that I want to be able to see. I can add font size if I wanted to make it a little bit different. Let's say 25px. Okay, and again, if these don't respond, okay, but they did respond. Okay, so we're okay right here. Maybe I want to build it back down to 20. All right, and that's how I can add the color in to my into the cards right here. Okay. And the only other thing I wanted to bring in is I wanted to style this nav bar top. Okay. And the way you would do it, so let's go back to the one that's not styled. In your HTML, if you remember, when you built in the navigation bar, we gave it an ID of nav bar top. So if I go to my CSS, I can go hashtag nav bar top right here, and I can give it a background color. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to add to it one of these colors here, and that will change this. Okay, I can add into it the color of the font. So let me just like Dodger Blue a lot. Let's add that in here. Okay, you can make it bigger. You can align it to the center. Remember, I want to also for you to also put a Google font in here. So if you go to fonts.google.com, you'll be able to. I had already selected this here. So remember, this goes into the head of your HTML. So I click here. I'm going into my HTML and adding that. Find the closing head tag right there, and right above it, you want to paste that for your Google font. And then the bottom one, you want to copy this and paste it into your CSS. So I want this into the nav bar. And let's do a big font size. So let's make it, see what this looks like. Okay. All right, so that's how you can add all of the items in here. I could add a margin bottom so that it's not right against the so the card doesn't start right away. So it pushes the card, you should push the card down in the space a little bit. Yeah, so I want that little space right there. These cards are kind of too stuck together, so you could go into your card and add a margin bottom there. Let's say it's 20px, so that card isn't like stuck to the other one, like right here. I don't like that. All right, so that pushes it down, but basically that is going to, you're just going to have all that style in there. So a Google font, everything needs to be colored. All of the text color needs to be changed, the background colors. Make sure you're adding padding and margin so things aren't like pushed against each other. All right, and that's it.